In 3, 2, and 1. All right, here's the question. Can the Diva rebound in the final major championship pick'em contest?
God.
Here's the twist. She now has to beat two of us. We're playing zone defense now.
So not fair. Two experienced golfers.
Okay, I like that.
That matters.
All right, so me and David Guy, more on David in a minute. So the British Open draft is just ahead. We're on location here at historic Rolling Hills Country Club in Wichita, Kansas, the birthplace of the LPGA Tour. We're going to talk with Director of Golf David Guy about the history and how he preserves it. Don't be late to this tee time. Let's get started. All right, welcome back and thanks for joining us today. I'm Jay, this is Susan. We are the Divot.
And the Diva.
All right, we're on a mission, ladies and gentlemen. 1,000 subscribers. We're not asking for the world.
Just a few zeros.
Just a few zeros, 3 zeros. All right, so 1,000 subscribers. That's our goal. We need your help. Hit the subscribe button now. Also like us, make a comment. We like to read those. And while you're at it, share us with your village of peeps. So our sponsor for today's episode is Friends University. At Friends, they have more than 60 degree options. I call that career versatility. They have your career field. They also have scholarships for literally every undergraduate. And they are the top-ranked Christian college in the state of Kansas. So visit them today at friends.edu. That's friends.edu. So our special guest for today's episode is David Guy, the man, the myth, the legend. He's the director of golf at Rolling Hills Country Club. Again, the birthplace of the LPGA Tour. And he's also tournament director of the Heritage Classic, which is the tour championship of the Annika Women's All-Pro Tour. He will be our third player in the British Open Pick'em contest. So you're going to be, have you ever been a third wheel before?
Good luck to you, David.
Been a third wheel a few times, sure.
What's nice?
This was
So you're good at
experience,
it.
sure.
Yeah, this will be a different third wheel, but it will be fun. So the British Open is this week at Royal Birkdale Golf Club in Southport, England. It's the 11th time that the British Open has been hosted by Royal Birkdale. The previous two champions there were Jordan Spieth back in 2017 and Padraig Harrington back in 2008. When do you think the first British Open was played? Any guesses?
I wouldn't have any idea.
What are we in 150
British
now-ish?
Open.
So
Oh, yeah, he can do the math.
54-ish. I know. That public school math.
Right,
Yeah, so
right.
1860.
there you go.
Wow.
It's the oldest major championship.
It's in the
So-
old country.
It's in the old company. So David will draft a team and play along with us. After the draft, we will talk to David about what's going on in ladies professional golf as it pertains to the Annika Women's All-Pro Tour and the Heritage Classic, which will be on this golf course, Rolling Hills Country Club, in September. We'll talk more about that. All right, before we jump into the content, we always ask our special guest how golf found you. So tell us your story.
How golf? So golf was kind of my babysitter growing up. I would get dropped off at the public course in Dodge City, Kansas, and
Dodge City.
The Country Club or Mariah Hills?
the Mariah Hills.
Oh,
I
wow.
love that course.
I love it too. Great public golf course.
How old were you? Ish.
Ish.
We won't hold-
8, 9.
Oh, perfect.
Different
Those
times
were the
then.
days, boy.
Different
You get in
times
trouble
then.
for that nowadays.
Yeah, so I'd get dropped off at 7 and picked up at 5, and
Oh
had
my
a
gosh.
junior membership at the public course. I could just go round and round, and
Holy
that was when
cow.
I fell in love with golf. Yeah.
What a great
That's a good-
life.
I love that story. So, quick story about Mariah Hills. My claim to fame was my last year to be qualified as a junior amateur when I was 17. So I was also the same age as Steve Gotchi, who's kind of a legend around Kansas. He played many years on the Korn Ferry Tour. He had a cup of coffee or two on the PGA Tour. But him and I were the same age, and he beat me like a drum for all those years. But my claim to fame was taking second to him at the state junior when we were 17, 3-round event. He nipped me by 7 shots.
No, gosh. Wow. Well,
So,
you go big or go home, as they say, right?
Thought I had him in my dreams.
So then did you play golf in high school or college?
Yep, played high school golf, did okay in the state of Missouri, and then played college golf in Ohio, and also played college basketball and a few other things. But after college, I got in the golf business and wanted to still compete, and our chapter section stuff, was still able to do some of that, and then was able to get a sponsorship and chase it around for a little bit. Never held any great status anywhere, but had a nice brief stint going around playing a lot of golf, and got to know a lot of fantastic people in the golf world and industry, and a lot of different, the scope of the industry is so big. There's a lot of different avenues to careers in golf, and so when I got back into business, I had that experience to rely on, and landed here. So,
did you have a favorite course during that time frame?
The Creek Course at Hammock Dunes in Palm Coast, Florida.
Palm Coast, Florida.
Shout out.
Traditionally hosts the hardest qualifying field for the U.S. Open in Florida.
Oh.
So pure golf course.
Wow.
It's a Reese Jones.
Okay.
No homes or anything out there. Big alligators.
Wind. Well, okay.
Big old,
I was just about to ask,
alligators.
what's the specialty on that course? Alligators, apparently.
That's right.
Like, is there
What's
wind
the hazard on that course? Alligators.
Or deep bunkers, or lots of undulation in the fairways, or
So
greens?
it's 2 different 9s. The first 9 goes out amongst all these pine trees, and then you get back into the back 9, and you're out over the intercoastal waterway. And you see
my
more of the
gosh.
ocean and some farther views, but there's no homes out there, so
Wow.
wildlife is running rampant. But it's just a beautiful golf course.
Wow.
Great test of golf. I mean, it's a traditional Reese Jones where it's right there in front of you, but you got to hit good shots, and if you do, it's good rewards. But if you
Don't,
risk
it's punishing.
You don't, it's punishing, right? So I always enjoyed it. It always had high marks from, they don't host a lot of events and keep it exclusive that way, but it was a fantastic place to
Oh my gosh, it sounds.
hone in your game. Yeah.
Can I just ride in the golf cart? I don't need to lose that many balls. I'll just ride in the golf cart.
Yeah,
I'll be the
you
caddy
coach
for that
me
day.
for a change. How about that?
Oh, that would be. We will record that. Wow.
All right, so let's jump into the major championship pick'em contest here on the Divot and the Diva. All right, here's how it goes, David. We've got 4 rounds. Before we do that, we have a wager on the line.
Oh,
And
yes,
David,
right.
David has agreed to this.
Now we have a wager. Now
Yeah.
it's not just for pride.
No. And so if either the Divot or the Diva wins, David will let us play as his guest at Rolling Hills Country Club, the birthplace of the LPGA Tour. And if David wins, we will
we know what that means.
prepare and deliver dinner to the Guy family.
Yep.
And he's got a growing family, two young boys who I'm sure
Eat a lot.
Eat a
I
lot.
love to feed boys.
And I've eaten with David. He can eat a lot.
I had 2 girls, and they
Yeah.
ate, but they ate more frequently than they did large quantities at any given time. So, boys are fun.
Yeah.
I think fun to feed, but I don't have to feed them every day. So there you go.
So that's the
Okay,
wager
that's
that
the
we've
wager.
agreed on,
All right.
Correct.
Yep,
So there's a
okay.
lot at stake here. A lot at stake. All right, so here's how it goes. So we break the starting field of the British Open into 4 categories based on their world golf ranking or a near proximity of their world golf ranking. So category 1 is 1 through 20 in the world, category 2, 21 through 40, et cetera, et cetera. So points are awarded based on the player's finishing position on Sunday, right? So if David tied for 3rd at the British Open at Birkdale, he would get 3 points.
Right.
If Jay the Divot tied for 18th, I get 18 points. Now,
And if I
you're
won, the Diva won, I would have 1 point.
that would be a golf breaking story. Not from the skill standpoint, but from the gender standpoint.
Oh, that's true.
Because the women
I'm not
have
invited.
their
I'm not invited for that one.
British Open.
That's fine. I'm okay with that.
All right. So if the player does not make the 36-hole cut, whatever their position is after 36 holes will carry over to Sunday. And just like golf, the lowest score wins.
I had to ask that the first time he wanted me to do this. I'm like, okay, is a high number better or a low number better? Just for clarification's sake, it's the load.
So here's the history. So the first major of the year, the Masters, she smoked me.
Well, not that bad, but I did
Well,
win.
she did the first 3 rounds.
True.
I made a comeback in the final round,
He
but I
did.
was so far out of it. So she won the Masters. So
I
I had
did.
to up my game, which I did in the PGA Championship. I got her there, and then I really got her at the U.S. Open
Yeah,
a
you
few
did.
weeks ago. So if she wins, right, it'll be a tie.
Tie.
2-2
Correct.
over the course of the rest of the year. And now
Sure.
we've got to wait till the Masters next year to
Okay.
start it up again. But if I win,
He has bragging rights.
big time.
So what?
Yeah. And if David wins, it just throws
Well, I
a
was
wrench
just
in
going to
it.
say, I'm
I
going to not
know.
take offense to the fact
Yeah.
that we're
I know. It's like
pretending like I'm not going to win this, but that's okay.
David's
Maybe
over here
second
going like,
versus third.
you know, I'm over here.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So anyway, so let's start our draft, and
Okay.
as
Per usual. Ladies first.
requirement, we ask the diva to go first in all rounds. I will ask David to go second in all rounds, and I'll bring up the rear. So,
Okay, so I always have a strategy for how I pick my players. 'cause-
oh, wait a minute.
What?
I've got to intervene here. All right. So I think,
Good Lord, he just loves to talk.
well, there's that, but I've got good reason to talk because
What?
yesterday we spent about 11 hours in a car, and she's always made the statement that, oh, you know, Jay's so technical, he knows all this stuff about golf, and he analyzes and da. And, you know, I'm kind of emotional when it comes to my pick. I'm driving home from Wisconsin yesterday, and she's like, what does shots gained mean? I'm like, what?
I was looking at the stats on the PGA.
She's looking at, you know, which you need
haven't
a
looked at
you,
them, so
you
I was
need
like,
a class to
just closer to the
figure
middle,
that out.
better
So
or out?
I explained what shots gained are because she was like, "Well, wait a minute. Shots gained means you're adding shots too. That doesn't make sense to me." I
Yeah,
said, "No.
I got
shots
it.
gained mean shots gained on the average field."
Yeah, don't even let him try to
anyway.
explain it to you. I'd have to explain it. That's too many words. So, anyway.
Don't
yes.
give us this BS about.
Last time, it was all emotional picks, and I was very specific about why. This time, I'll tell you, it's really very cut and dry.
She will still be emotional.
I just need the players to make the dadgum cut. So all my picks are highest probability of making the cut because I cannot win unless at least 3 of my players make the cut, right? So anyway, so I did look up the course, and my understanding is that this one requires driving accuracy. It's not so much the long drive that is required, but there's a very penal, is what they called it, very punishing rough, and you want to stay out of that, and very deep pot bunkers. David, what is a pot bunker? I don't even know what that means.
It's a bunker that grows pot.
No, it does not. You lying sack of trash.
Hey, we're going to be popular in Colorado.
Are we trying to get to 1,000 subscribers? Or
I
what?
said,
Let's go.
Is it deep pot bunkers? I saved that question for you. I was like, I have no idea what a pot bunker is, but I'm assuming it's not good.
It's not good. No, it's a very deep bunker.
Like a
They
hole?
stack all this sod up to where when you get in it, you can't really see out of it or
That's why
where
it's
you're
like a pot,
going.
like it has sides
yeah,
to the pot.
That's right.
It's like jail.
It's like jail. That's
Yeah.
a good way
Okay.
And they're small generally.
to. Small, very
Yeah.
claustrophobic. Can't make a good swing. Oftentimes you have to go sideways or backwards
Just to
but
get out.
They
Wow,
are very
okay.
penal.
That's accurate then. Okay. So then also controlling the trajectory is what I'm told is really important because of the swirling winds, because of the location of the golf course itself, the swirling winds, the deep bunkers we already talked about, the steep drop-offs on some of the greens, apparently, the runoff. So that becomes difficult. We watched that one tournament where, holy crap, if you didn't get it just in the right place on the green, it was coming
Yeah, the
30,
travelers.
40 yards back at you. Yeah, that was terrible. And then the short game being super, super important. Again, though, just make the cut, guys. So I'll get to the point. The first group, again, is, the likes of Scheffler all the way down to Oberg, with lots of great players in between. I chose number 6, Colin Morikawa. He won Pebble Beach. He was a Travelers Tournament runner-up. But listen to this. I already told you stuff. 85%. He made 85% of the cuts. since he's been playing professionally. So I'm like, okay, he's going to make the cut. Very good. And he 72% greens in regulation. So I mean, like just 2 putt, got it. Just call it just 2 putt, and you'll be fine. Okay, so there's my pick, number
All right,
6.
David is on the clock.
Colin.
And you get like 5 seconds because
Wow.
the diva.
Yeah.
Shut.
So, I mean,
I gave you the backdrop.
I'll just make it quick and to the point. I think this guy's got the game. He's from the area. I mean, Fitzpatrick.
I know. I almost picked him.
Played good
I
this
picked his
last week
brother
at
in
the
one of the
Scottish
others.
Open.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's another good
I like
telltale.
Matt.
Yeah, let's root for Matt.
I won't, but you can.
You know, nobody has picked Scotty this year.
No,
and Scotty missed the cut at the Scottish Open. He's the defending champion.
Is he
No, I'm
gonna-
not going to pick
I was
Scotty.
going to say, are you going to pick Scotty?
No. I'm going to go with John Rahm. I'm going to go with
Okay.
John Rahm.
All right.
I think he's poised to make a major championship run.
Okay.
So I'm going with John Rahm in round 1 of the major championship pick'em contest here on the Divot and the Diva. So it takes us to round 2.
Okay.
Diva's on the clock.
I'm choosing number 25, Patrick Cantlay. Because he
Mr. Boring.
grew up in, I don't care what his personality is, make the cut and get a low score. Because he grew up in UCLA. So he's used to the coastal winds and the precipitation, the fog. And he also, you're not going to be surprised at this, 78% of his cuts in 2026. But really, because he's good on the scramble and his putting stats look really great, and he grew up in Long Beach, so I'm trusting that he can get it off the tee box and down the fairway. And then once he gets that done, then all of his better skills will come into play.
So would you do David and I a favor when you have your pre-British Open tournament pep talk with him? Can you tell him, speaking of pep, to pick up his pep, pick up his pace of play? One of the slowest
Jay
players
hates that.
on the planet, and it's my biggest, and I know it's David's because
Okay.
anybody in the golf business pays attention to pace of play.
I will.
So,
I'll broach that issue with him
talk
and
to
see
him
how
about
he
that.
handles that.
All right, so Susan picks Patrick Cantlay as her pick in round 2. David, you're on the clock.
What were the picks like before? What was the reasoning of the picks before shots gained and swirling winds and pot bunkers?
Making the cut.
Just making the cut?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, making the cut.
That's why she's not winning. She's not
No, this
shooting
is-
for the top.
no,
because
this is the
have
first
we have
time I've used
have
this.
Have you or I picked anybody
Shut up.
this year that's won?
Okay.
I'm trying to think.
I'd be flipping him off right now, but this is being recorded, so I will restrain myself.
Oh yeah, Wyndham Clark.
Or you could just read the
I picked
bubble.
Wyndham
Picked
Clark.
Wyndham?
Yes.
Wow.
That's how he beat the crap out of me last time. So
So his luck's run out.
you
Yeah,
got to pick
probably.
from this column here.
Oh, we're in this column?
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
Shucks.
Yeah.
See, I'm already off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got to help him out.
I need all the help I can get. Boy. Minwoo Lee.
Okay.
Oh, he played good at the Scottish Open.
Didn't you pick him once time?
I did, and he
Yeah.
missed the cut, so he'll probably win it.
This is when they usually
But
come- 'cause
I
he-
picked when he missed the cut,
See,
and then
what
he
happens
picked him the
is
next time, and he won. He
when
made
they
the
miss
cut.
the cut at the Scottish Open.
Then they
or-
get it together.
Well, they usually get an extra time over at the next site, and they're practicing. They get a little bit more prep, and so they
There's
shake
a
that
strategy
off. And
there.
They, yeah, there you
Okay.
go. So Minwoo.
Okay.
All right, Minwoo. My second round pick is Terrell Hatton.
Who?
Terrell Hatton. He is a live player.
Oh, I would have said Tyrell. Sorry.
He's a pretty boring player, isn't he, David? I mean, he doesn't wear his feelings on his sleeve
Not
at all, does he?
Can't tell what he's thinking,
No,
how he's
not at all.
feeling.
I'm gonna guess they're being sarcastic right now.
Maybe a little bit. I got a master's degree in sarcasm at Friends University.
I thought
our
that was my
sponsor for this
specialty.
episode.
Sheesh.
Yeah, you're pretty good at it too. So
Okay.
Terrell Hatton, I'm going to go with Terrell. All right, so that takes us to round 3. Diva, you are on the clock.
Ryan Gerard, number 52. He was one of my previous picks. I think in the Masters, actually, and he did okay there. He helped me win. So I'm back to him. He made 84% of his cuts. He's had 6 top 25 finishes, so I thought that was really good. Now, what's interesting about him, and so we'll see. I don't know. He turned pro in 2022, so he hasn't been around that long. So I'm hoping that fresh perspective of his is not a problem.
He's played well this year.
Yeah, he has. So I'm excited about him.
Yeah. No, I think he's a good pick. All right, your third round pick.
Brian Harmon.
Oh, that was easy for you. Okay.
Well, past winner.
He's past winner.
Straight driver.
Okay.
Good short game.
Okay.
Kind of that bulldog mentality. Doesn't really
Stick
beat
with it.
himself. I mean, he won't knock himself out easily. So
Cool.
I think that's a good safe pick to make a cut.
All right.
All right, so now it's my turn in round 3. I'm going to go against the grain and go with Nikolai Højgaard, who just bombs it. He's playing well. He finished, I think, in the top 10 at the Scottish Open this last week, and he's a solid player. He hasn't broken through yet, and so he might be my Brian Harmon when Brian Harmon kind of broke through. So I'm going with Nikolai Højgaard as my third round pick.
Okay.
So that takes us to the fourth round. Let me just set it up. Susan has Colin Morikawa, Patrick Cantlay, and Ryan Gerard. And who's going to be your fourth round pick?
Number 80, Jacob Bridgman. He made 71% of career cuts, 17 out of 18 this last year, thankfully. 28 times been in the top 25. I really am sticking to the just make the dadgum cut. But his other strengths, which I really, really liked, was he has a strong, this is a quote, strong course adaptability. So I feel like, and he's got a very precise iron play and elite putting. So I feel like if he can adapt in the fairway and on the approach shots, with that iron and then get up there and putt the heck out of it, I think he could do okay. Again, I'm not looking for number 1. I'm looking for cut players.
See,
That's
have we had a winner yet this year that we've picked?
shut up. Move on.
Okay.
David, do you have a fourth round pick
It's
for
going to be
us?
really hard not to pick Elvis.
Elvis.
I mean,
Yeah.
as a golfer and an Elvis fan, how would you not want to
There was an
combine the
Elvis
two?
sighting at Royal Birkdale at the British Open.
Holy.
You can just imagine the sponsorship dollars and stuff this guy could
No
get and all the fun the internet would have with it. But
No doubt.
I'll go with Stuart Sink.
Yeah.
Okay.
He
He's
can
number
still
85.
play, even
He could
though he's
still
in the
play.
Okay.
over 50 circuit.
But, hopefully, see, I chose Justin Rose last time for his maturity. And yeah, what that did for me.
Well, so for my fourth round pick, I'm gonna go down the lane that David kind of opened. If you remember, this is the 11th playing of the British Open at Royal Birkdale. The last 2 winners, Jordan Spieth in 17. You remember who I said won in 08?
No.
Padraig Harrington.
Padraig, yeah.
You're gonna
And
do
Padraig is just chewing up the Champions Tour.
Okay.
He's won 1 or 2 majors this year. So I'm going to
Where is
go
he?
with Padraig Harrington.
Oh, do you need to
I
change?
didn't even see that
Do you
list.
need to
Well, I
change
didn't
even
your
see
pick
that.
Because he doesn't
there?
have, his world ranking is
It's
so far.
Well, at the time, it was 95.
Okay, so it's 95, right? So
There's one way to win.
I'm
Cheat.
going with,
Don't know if
With
I had all the
pods.
information before that bet started. But
yeah.
That's going to be his excuse when he loses.
No,
I
this
wasn't
meal's
given
gonna be
all the
tasty.
information
This
up
is gonna
front.
be a good meal.
yeah.
It's going to be good.
Okay,
Oh, crow
now.
tastes good if you cook it up right. All right, so let's review the picks. So Susan, the diva, chose Colin Morikawa, Patrick Cantlay, Ryan Gerard, and Jacob Bridgman. David Guy went with Matt Fitzpatrick, Minwoo Lee, Brian Harmon, and Stuart Sink. And Jay the Divot went with John Rahm, Terrell Hatton, Nikolai Højgaard, and Padraig Harrington. All right. And may the best person
Good luck.
win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
good
wish
luck
you all
to
a
everybody.
strong second place finish.
This may be his last appearance on the Divot and the Diva. That's to be determined. All right, let's shift gears and talk Heritage Classic.
Or do you want to do
Annika-
birthplace?
Well,
First.
yeah, I'm leading up to that. We're going to talk Annika Women's All-Pro Tour, and we're going to talk about the birthplace of the LPGA Tour, which is right here at Rolling Hills Country Club in Wichita, Kansas. We have David Guy, who's the director of golf here at Rolling Hills and the tournament director of the Heritage Classic, which comes up here in less than 2 months in September. So, David, tell us about the birthplace of the LPGA right here in Wichita, Kansas, Rolling Hills Country Club. How did this all take place?
Yeah, so it's a great story, right? 1950, Rolling Hills was hosting the Women's National Open, which was the 5th National Open for women at the time.
Okay.
Babes Harris won by 9 shots.
That's
The 13 founders, or would-be 13 founders, came into this very clubhouse and signed made some amendments, as the story goes, a few heated amendments over some details that were in the initial Constitution, but it was signed into effect right here, and thus the LPGA was created at Rolling Hills in Wichita, America.
those 13 women. Why did they want to make changes, though? They were playing golf. They were winning. They were winning a little bit of money.
Yeah,
Not
they
much.
were doing it all. They were setting up the tournaments. They were writing the checks. They were raising the money. They were their own officials. There's a great kind of documentary out there called The Founders that was filmed in 2016 and kind of covers a lot of this. But,
Yeah.
it was a little bit of it's a poor term, but a circus act. They were traveling town to town and having to do exhibitions to raise
Exactly.
money. And so, the men's tour was really taking off and was on solid ground. And so they were talking about things like appearance fee money and sponsorships and things like that. And
Trying to get it all up to speed for the women.
Sure.
I mean, I don't even like carrying my own bag, let alone doing all the rest of that stuff. So I can completely understand their desire to, the courses got opened up to them. They got the opportunity to play on a higher level, but it wasn't even close to even playing ground. I mean, it was not. It was not. And so they made some really good choices for the women who are playing now. I know that's what they were thinking about, the future of women's golf.
Right. And I think, not to jump ahead and get into Heritage Classic, but that's why it's so important to have an event like that come back to the birthplace of the LPGA and keep these stories and this history alive so that these young players that are coming from all corners of the world now to play this game and get to play here get to know whose shoulders they're really standing on and what happened in order for them to have these opportunities that they're getting. And so that's how the Heritage Classic has, evolved, and that's what it started as, was a celebration of that history. And couldn't be more proud of the club and you guys and your part in the event, and what it's really kind of opened the door for. It's become a nice platform for some charity and for some local economic impact. But having Annika come last year was
oh my gosh, that
super
was
special.
so exciting, so amazing. And just watching her, I just got a bird's eye view watching her, and you could tell she was absolutely in her element. We had been wanting her to come. Her name's on the tournament, so why wouldn't you want her to come? But this was her first opportunity to do that. And the story goes, right, she was only going to be here for a couple of hours. Somebody's going to pick her up at the airport, bring her out here, a few hours, back to the airport and out of here. But she ended up spending quite a bit more time, I think, than she believed she was going to, right? Some hours, a few more hours.
No. Yeah, you're right, and that's the abridged version of all that. It was quite the piece to try to get her here, as we know what we went through last year. But it was well worth it, and we were so grateful and thankful for every minute she could spend here. But you're right. Once she was on the property, there was just a different energy, a different feel, and I think kind of, for me, it tied in a lot of what we had been working towards in 4 years. But this is still growing and still has. There's a lot of ladies that I've talked to that want to come back and share their stories of the founders and what it meant to them in their careers, to know them, have competed with them, or mentored by them. and keep their legacies alive as, the LPGA. It's to think about what started here, and now it's the longest running women's sports organization in the world.
Wow.
That's played in how many countries for how many hundreds of millions of dollars, and no telling the outreach from all those events and what that means to local economies and charities and things like that. It's just incredible. And so to have that all come to a pinpoint here, just for a brief moment each year, is so special, and it's worth all the effort. So.
Well, it's significant for so many reasons, and the LPGA Tour made a pretty immediate impact because it was created right here at Rolling Hills Country Club in 1950, and at the time they had approximately 15 events, and as David very well documented, they had to do their own work.
Right.
They had
All
to do
that
their own
stuff.
PR work. They had to set up the golf course. They had to promote the tournament once they got into town. They had to write their own press releases. They had to do their own tee times, and they had to run everything themselves.
Anybody that's put on an event of any kind, not even related to golf, can understand the details that the general public should never see, should never know about, but that have to be done in order for the general public to enjoy the event. And they were doing that all on their own.
Oh, no doubt. And so the impact was this. In 1950, they played approximately 15 tournaments and played for approximately $50,000 in prize money. Immediately after they created this LPGA Tour, in 1951, they played 20 tournaments and they were playing for $100,000. So the prize money doubled, in essence, in 1 year. And as you look over the years and all the great players that have played, I mean, the Joanne Carners, the Nancy Lopez, the Julie Inksters, the Annika Sorenstam, all throughout history since 1950. Today, in 2026, they're playing for $132 million in prize money. That's the impact of what happened here in Wichita, Kansas, at Rolling Hills Country Club in Wichita, Kansas.
Bravo, girls. Bravo.
Yeah. So
exciting.
So we talk about how do we feel about Rolling Hills being the birthplace of the LPGA, and in our little bubble, we feel amazing about it, and we know people have heard about it outside our little bubble. And so tell the story about Annika when she first got on location here. I mean, she's heard that Rolling Hills is the birthplace of the LPGA, but she didn't really understand the impact of it until she walked through the doors. So take the story from there.
Yeah, so we obviously flew her in, and we had a driver bring her over from the airport, and I was there to greet her at the front doors of the clubhouse, and we had worked on a kind of a timepiece, but a welcome to the birthplace of the LPGA, so that when you walked into the club, you kind of realized you had that step into history and all the importance of what had happened here. And she immediately saw the picture, she saw the photo of the 13 founders and the letters around it, and didn't say much to anybody. Walked right up to the picture, turned around and said, "Please take a photo."
Oh.
And I don't know her personally all that well, but I could tell in that moment she had kind of started to grasp, what this really was, and that this was the birthplace of the LPGA. A few moments later, we took her over to a display or an exhibition that we had put up with all of the founders and kind of some little bios.
Is that the plaza?
Yep.
Yeah.
They're at the plaza now,
Yeah.
but they were up here at the time
here.
for her, and as she kind of walked through, she picked out a couple and made a couple of comments about a couple of things. And
Wow.
she turned to me and she said, "So what does it mean to be the birthplace of the LPGA?" And I said, how proud are we of this? And she goes, "No." She goes, "What does that actually mean?" And so then I got to really share the story
The
of what
history
I'd
lesson.
learned. Yeah, just briefly
Yeah.
of what I'd kind of learned in my short time here, and share that with her. And she admittedly didn't know it. So it's fascinating, right, that a lot of these players have spent their whole careers and played all over the world, and this piece of history wasn't at the forefront, or wasn't like firsthand
Right.
information for them joining the tour. And so I always get a kick out of saying, and I say it a lot, but in 2022 was the first time we brought women's professional golf back to the birthplace of the LPGA, and that's kind
a
of our
big gap.
Long time coming.
1950 to 2022.
And as we celebrate and we get close to it, we all get the warm and fuzzy feelings about the event and what we're doing and what we're celebrating. But I wish we were in our 50th. I wish we had our 50th or 75th. But last year was great to have Annika, and it was also the LPGA 75th anniversary, and they had some representation here too, and all those little things that people do to get this information, Wikipedias or Google searches and things. We're getting all that information put in there. So as I talk more and more to legend players and current tour players, they're surprised when they hear that. It's not it's not where you would probably think the birthplace of the greatest, women's sports organization, the longest running sports, it would happen. So it's fun to share that history and the who's and the where's and the why's and get their reactions and just continue to spread the history, right?
Yeah, shout out to Gary DiSerrano and his team for creating that match. Gary is the CEO of the Women's All-Pro Tour. So shout out to Gary and his team for making it possible to bring Annika in the fold, because it's brought, I know, his tour a lot of notoriety. It's brought Wichita a lot of notoriety because the Heritage Classic presented by Keystone Solid Surfaces. We want to shout out to Keystone and their team for supporting women's professional golf in Wichita, Kansas. But really, this tour, you wonder, okay, how good is this tour? Here's how good this tour is. 3 of the 4 winners here in Wichita at the Heritage Classic have all gone on to play on the LPGA Tour. Marielle Galdiana, who won in 2022, Gerling Kaur, who won in 2023, and Haley Cooper, who won in 2024, all have gone on to play on the LPGA Tour. These girls can flat out play.
They're amazing. They are amazing, and they're the sweetest things I've ever met. I mean, these girls, I was thinking about when you were talking about the founders and what they've done, and these girls coming to some understanding, because when they come to this tournament, they get some of that history. They see it. They're living it. We're talking about it. I was thinking about the appreciation that must put in them for the work that was done prior. I'm like, they are so appreciative of how this club embraces this event and the girls that participate in it.
For sure, and they're great players. They're fun to watch. They're great human beings. I mean, the Heritage Classic's a golf tournament, but that whole week is a celebration. And when we bring them in on Tuesday at the welcome party, and you get up with Catherine Kirk, and she gets to share the stories and all the great conversation that you have, I think that sets the tone for them.
Yes,
but
it
you
does.
can definitely tell that they know that they can become their own brand pretty quickly. They're so gracious with their time. We invite them to a lot of different events throughout the week, and they show up in full force, and they have great attitudes, and they hang out with the members and the sponsors and us, and it's just a fantastic week. I mean, it just doesn't get any better.
David, let's talk about the growth of the Heritage Classic in terms of prize money, sponsors, media coverage, the prestige with Annika coming. Just talk about the growth plan for the Heritage Classic.
Well, I think we've hit a pinnacle now that we're on the Divot The Diva podcast. And,
of course you have. That was our ultimate goal.
Yeah, that's what happens. Make your business, your organization successful. Come on, in the comments.
No, so you touched a little bit on it. Gary was looking, Gary DiSerrano, so he was running the WAPT, kind of stationed out of Dallas, and they had a few events starting out. Getting some organization there at that level for these players, I think, was the biggest thing at the time. And then he was looking for a spot to fill out in his schedule, which was a little bit more north. I think they were playing Texas, Arkansas, a little bit in Louisiana, but we would have been at the time in 2022 the farthest north the tour had been.
Okay.
And it was in June, and so that was kind of our first year, and I think the purse was around $50,000.
And what was the temperature?
50,000 degrees. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it was
hot.
I think we had just about every season that week in June in 2022. And then I think that was just the right place and the right time for all of this to come together. They got to see and realize, I remember having a conversation with Gary and saying, hey, we're the birthplace of the LPGA. And just like most people, like kind of glazes over at first because it's not been talked about.
Yeah. What does that mean to me? He probably thought.
Right. And then when he first did the site visit and he saw the history out here and stuff, he says, is this really the birthplace of the LPGA? It's like, this is why we have to bring women's professional golf back. And so, of course, we did the whole week, and the tour loved it, and the ladies loved it, and the membership embraced it, and they embraced
they did.
We host the players, and we all the members that caddy, and they volunteer, and so, it was the full wraparound of the arms for this, and so they wanted us to become the tour championship going into the second year. About the same time, they started their conversations with the Annika Foundation, and you got to throw Rob Ono in there too with bringing Annika here. That was a big team effort on a lot of parts, but they've definitely given back to the event and to the club as much as we've asked them to be a part of all this cool history too. So, and it's grown from there, and we continue to. I think last year our purse was $100,000. It continues to be the largest purse on the tour by far. It's the tour championship, so all the great things that go on throughout the year kind of culminate here, and we get to celebrate all those champions and all the ones that get to move on, and they've gotten great sponsors now in Callaway and Southern Company paying for Q School for 20 of the top 20 players at the end of the season. So it's been neat to watch the Heritage Classic on our end from our tournament grow. We've got amazing sponsors ourselves, like you mentioned, Keystone and Security First, and all of our Annika sponsors and all of our whole sponsors and media sponsors. I mean, you name it, everybody's getting in on it now, and I think kind of seeing the big picture of what we're trying to do. But the purse is going up another $25,000 this year to $125,000.
Fantastic.
Still going to be the largest, but it's been fun to watch the tour and this tournament both grow and benefit from those ideas that started in 2022.
Right, because, for instance, the holes changed last year. We had a hospitality suite put up the year prior, right? This was last year, the second year?
Last year was the first year for the Founders Club, yeah.
Oh, for the Founders Club. Is that when the winds took it down? It had to be...
No, that was we were close. We did have some weather come in.
Weather, okay.
And almost take, but yeah.
Okay.
No,
but all kinds of things have evolved and grown, not just the purse.
So that leads me into my question. All right, let's pretend I'm a prospective sponsor of the Heritage Classic. What's the message you want to deliver to me to get me excited about being a part of this great community event?
Well, a lot of the things we've already touched on, right? I mean, we're celebrating and bringing back women's professional golf to the birthplace of the LPGA, but what this event has become is a platform for charitable donations or support. Has become economic impact for a lot of different areas. I mean, we have so many, we're celebrating women in all sorts of industries. We're doing a mentoring program. The nice thing about the event is that the club owns this event, and so we can really build sponsorships however what is the value for you, and we'll build it and we'll do it and we'll produce this. So it is top to bottom, whether you're talking about juniors or pros or any of these other things and charities or local, it's all there. It's all in one event, and there's just infinite reasons to get excited. And when you can be a part of creating it, because I mean, we're only in the 5th year. I mean, let's be honest. It's
babies,
even
infants,
though that history is
toddlers.
very rich and deep, this tournament's just kind of starting to hit its stride. So you can still very much get in on the creative process and the legwork or the beginning, the foot platform for how this event is going to propel forward. So
yeah.
All right, David Guy has been our guest. David is the director of golf at Rolling Hills Country Club, the birthplace of the LPGA Tour. He's also the tournament director for the Heritage Classic presented by Keystone Solid Surfaces. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on the show. I think we're going to have you on again. I think that's a given. But thank you so much for showing up.
It depends on if he wins or loses this pool. I'm
the
thinking.
pick'em contest, it all hinges. Are we going to cook or are we going to play some golf?
I appreciate you guys having me on, and anytime we can, talk Wichita or talk Heritage Classic or any of the stuff, it's great. So I really appreciate what you guys are doing, and
super excited.
Looking forward to our event here in a couple of weeks.
Yes.
A couple of weeks.
All right, our sponsor for today's episode is Friends University. At Friends, they have more than 60 degree options. They have scholarships for every single undergraduate, and they are at the top of the rankings as far as Christian colleges in the state of Kansas. Go visit them today at friends.edu. That's friends.edu. This is the Divot and the Diva, where experience meets curiosity. So tap. If this episode makes your day a little bit brighter, subscribe at the bottom so the next episode finds you. We drop new episodes about every 3 weeks or so. So we appreciate you spending some time with us today. Again, special thanks to David Guy. He's been our guest. Remember, play golf fast, play it fair, collect friends along the way, and be sure to join us next time on the Divot and the Diva.
Okay, bye now.